We got Rune in the dressage test. Rune actually ended up winning this class, so I was really happy about that. Although I thought Fledge should have edged him out, but they both have their strengths and weaknesses and different things. So Rune can tend to get a little bit more on the Dressage side. So during the test, I always have to kind of keep him in a little bit of shoulder fore and kind of keep his attention, because sometimes it can wander on me a little bit. So especially with this being in the standard size arena, so it's the large arena, so it gives you lots of, well, not lots, but a little bit more time than if you were in a small size arena. So really making sure that my 20-meter circles are nice and accurate, and I'm going to make sure that he goes into the corners, bending around my leg. Every now and then he can get a little funny on the contact, so you might see him kind of go up and down sometimes. So it's just getting him to connect and to hold the bit a little bit and to come through his hind end. So right there, I can feel him getting a little distracted, so I'm trying to get him a little bit more supple by sliding the bit a little bit to kind of keep his attention, keep his brain inside the ring. We picked up our canter. He kind of lifted his head a little bit, but not bad. He has quite a nice canter with a good rhythm, very good cadence to it. He tends to always get a good score on his canter. Really trying to press him forward. And then we're going to come down to the transition to the trot. You're going to have to be careful that they don't wander off the rail of the arena. And now I'm going to go into my stretchy trot. He really doesn't like to stretch. So you see he kind of goes behind the vertical versus on Fledge, who took the contact a little bit better, I thought, was more appropriate to what we were supposed to do for that movement. And then we go down to the walk transition. Again, the stretchy trot for him has always been where I have to do a little bit more homework and get him to just take the bit down and out. But he marched on really well for his walk. Sometimes with the horses that you teach the Spanish walk, you have to be a little careful. But he's pretty good at knowing the difference of my cues when I'm asking for them. So he did a fairly nice free walk, putting him back together to pick up the trot at C. He's very nice and uphill. It has a very good length of neck, so and he tends to be a little bit taller than your average size. I mean, he's around 15'1", but again, I kind of Fledge is 14'1", so they're both very rideable size horses, and they're not huge by any means, but they definitely are able to get the job done. Again, I'm 5'8", just to give you guys a little bit of perspective. And while Fledge has a very springy trot, Rune's tends to be a little bit more flat and smoother. So sometimes when I have to teach lessons, he's kind of the one I go to for people to learn to post and trot on, because he's a little bit easier. So now we go across the diagonal, nice and straight. I'm going to push him into this corner, make sure he's around my new inside leg. Make sure we don't hit the boards. Picked up the canter lovely. That was a really nice transition, really smooth. His head never came up. That's kind of what you want for your transitions. And again, making sure I have a very accurate 20-meter circle. Hit the mark right at E. Now I'm going to make sure I hit the mark at B on the rail. Come down to the trot. Very nice. Making sure his pole sometimes gets a little too low on me, so I have to make sure he kind of keeps that up. And now coming down the center line to our final halt. and he did a little expressive stop right there when I asked him to halt. Overall, I was really happy, and he was a really good boy.